Well. Where are we going to? Is AI going to go? Is RWA going to go? Layer 1's infrastructure. What is the play in the crypto space? Also, there's some people saying Bitcoin has lost steam after hitting $100,000. Is that true? We're going to take a look. We have the top 10 predictions from Van Eck. We'll break those down and, well, which ones might come to light, which ones might not. We're also going to take a look at some other things. We're going to take a look at what Nevada is looking to do with blockchain technology, and are NFTs making a comeback? And we got a big announcement for one of our favorite projects out there. They're minting their NFT on Sunday. We'll talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time here, well, we're the entertainment focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information and we repackage that turkey up in a fun and sexy way. And then,
you got school pictures today or what?
School pictures?
Yeah, hair's all combed over, clean shave.
Yeah.
Okay. No more ice cream parlor, huh? You graduated.
Yeah, today I'm used car salesman.
Oh.
So, you're looking for a 2007 Honda Civic. I got you covered.
The multifaceted man. Man. All right, welcome in, you guys. A lot of good stuff today. So, I want to start. We'll get into the whole AI, RWA. What are some plays there? I actually got a top 3 AI video coming out. That'll be coming out today, kind of highlighting my 3 favorite projects. So, I'm curious with the chat. What do you guys think are going to be my top 3? Drop them in the comment section. I'm just curious what you guys think. I'll cover the 3 projects. I'll cover an AI. I'll give you a hint. All 3 of them are in the top 100. That is your hint for you. Let's start here. Let's start with this. Yeah, I mean, people are having this conversation. Is the rally losing steam? Is this the top? So they're saying, look, it's losing steam. Was 100K the top? The price dipped down to 100. It can't get past that 100K level. I'm just going to pull up coin market cap, even though Bitcoin's at 101.4K. We take a look at Bitcoin on the weekly. We had a beautiful breakout from this cup and handle pattern.
That is a very stagnant chart there. Yeah,
very.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It looks depressing and sad, right?
Yeah, but what I want to look at is I want to look at volume, and volume still looks good. And so, what are your thoughts here? Do you think this rally's losing a little bit of steam? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you think the top...
Look at that green. The green. I know this is on the weekly, but I mean, what else do you need? You're talking about
if you look,
you're talking about a $2 trillion asset that is moving up by, was it 50? It just ran 50%. It ran 50% in a few weeks, bro. You know, how many weekly candles is that?
3 weeks.
In 3 weeks, it ran 50%. A $2 trillion asset class, one that's comparable to gold. Obviously, gold's at, I think it's at $18 trillion. Gold is at 2. And I mean, how long does it take gold to move up 5% or even 10%? Right. And so for those of you that say this isn't moving fast enough, well, the hell do you want?
Faster.
I just don't get it. It's like you're driving a Ferrari and or a Lambo, and you're just like, this acceleration just ain't there. Like, what do you want? You want like a rocket ship? Like, I don't know. It's in the same way that you're like, dude, it's the fastest car they make. When you look at Bitcoin, be like, 50% in 3 weeks is about as good as it gets, man, for something of that caliber. And so I would say and I say it in the comments all the time. I say it in the comments all the time, right? XLM's a great example, right? Stellar Lumens. One of our favorite projects. There is so many people in the chat that are like, oh, it hasn't moved, bro. It's gone down for 50 cents. I'm like, brother, it went from 50 cents down to 41. It went from 9 cents to 50 cents a month ago.
62 cents.
It's like, what is wrong with y'all people?
Hey,
and then one person was like, hey, man, somebody in the comments, they said, you know what, a 5 to 10X, I can't retire off of that. like this is investments. Like we are here to invest, right? What does investing mean? It means you put away some money now, and perhaps you retire or you take profits or you cash out later on with more money than you started. Investment is not a lottery ticket. You don't put in $10,000 and be like, all right, this is it. My 10,000 here. I'm not gonna have to work anymore. Like, no, what you're looking for is a lottery ticket. Completely different than investing. Investing and lottery.
We got a lot of those slot machines.
Yeah, hey, you wanna try to turn 10,000 into, I don't know, 55 million and then never work again? Crypto ain't it, bro. I mean, if you want to be playing the meme coins, sure, but when you're talking about like, well, Cardano, I mean, if it 5x's, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to retire. But like, oh, duh.
We got a new whale member.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Vinny Del Greco upgraded to a whale member. Actually, can you press that cool button back there? Vinny, you just gave our graphics team another thing to do over the weekend. We appreciate it. Thank you for all your support to all the whale members and everyone who supports this channel. We appreciate all of them.
Yeah, man. I think we're up to
13, 14.
No, we're up to 14 whale members now. 14. Yeah, we'll add you into the credits at the end. And if anybody else wants to join in on the party, so that way we only have to change the graphic one time. We'd appreciate it. Join now, not Monday. Thank you. To those of you that are new to the chat, we appreciate the community. If it's first time watching or first time typing something in the chat, we'll give you a little love. We'll give you a little love back to you.
Yeah. Well, so Butcher, the beautiful name your parents gave you. Yeah, not we. He.
Somebody called me Rob the Butcher the other day.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Rob the Butcher. Didn't you used to work at a butcher shop?
No.
Oh.
Well, actually, I did work at a steakhouse. I was a chef, and we had bandsaws, and we did our own butchery there.
Yeah.
But that was one of my tools of my skill set.
Wow.
Was butchery, but not a full-time butcher.
Well, now you're a full-time butcher now, so of names.
There you go.
Now, let's talk about. We'll get into the Van Eck predictions, right? The market predictions, but I want to talk about what the title of your video today is, right? And that title is, well, what are sectors going to run? So put RWA and AI. So let's take a look at AI. And I've said this on the show, and I'll say it again, but AI is a sector that you're going to catch a lot of big pumps frequently, but kind of all over the place, right? You're not going to be able to time them. It's just AI is such a fast-growing industry with the technology. Something new comes out every 2 weeks, every 2 months, every 6 months. Who knows? Don't try to time those announcements. Just make sure you're positioned to be able to capitalize when those announcements are made. FOMO and frenzy kicks in, and people look around to speculate on AI. They enter into the crypto space, and they buy some of the top AI coins. Some of the headlines from this week alone: ChatGPT can now watch and interact with you in real time. Great. You also have Apple Intelligence went live with the new iOS software update. So these are headlines and things that you see that drive AI hype. And when AI hype gets driven, it kind of bleeds into the crypto space, and you start seeing AI tokens rally. Now, we take a look at the top AI tokens by market cap. This is from CoinMarketCap. You have the likes of Near Protocol, Internet Computer, Render, ASI, BitTensor, Filecoin, Injective. You got a bunch on here. Virtual Protocol. This thing has just absolutely crushed it. My God. I looked at my average buy on this yesterday. It's 32 cents. 32 cents. It's at $2.42. This, if I remove my third bucket, which is my put it away, forget about it for 5 to 10 year bucket, if I put that away and I just look at my cycle to cycle and my flips bucket, this is number one. This has overtaken the likes of Bitcoin, which was my biggest bag in the second and the third bucket, right? The cycle to cycle bucket plus the long-term bucket. But this has surpassed Bitcoin in my cycle to cycle bucket. And I got in fairly cheap. I think this thing still has a lot of room to run. But Virtual's Protocol, man, my God, you can either do Virtual's Protocol or if you want to do the research, we've talked about some of the plays within Virtual Protocol. I know Forrest has talked about it as well. Fortunately, he's not with us today, but he'll be back next Friday. But you can launch your own. I know. I think Redman or someone in the chat said they launched an AI token. We did as well. It's not something we were ever planning on, you know, kind of integrating into the show or anything. I just wanted to try it out, see how it is, so I can talk about it with confidence to the community and let you guys know how easy it is, how fun it was. It was great. And that is actually changing. So there's a lot of updates coming to Virtual Protocol. It's on the base chain. It's getting a lot of hype. It's got the AI and agent narrative. So this thing, I think this thing could be a $10 to $20 billion plus market cap project. I really do. As long as the AI narrative and the AI hype continues, it would be really good. And then you got some just dope projects, ICP, right? I don't know why they're not on the CoinGecko one, but ICP should be in every AI category there is. Near Protocol. And so ASI is an interesting one. This one is down 20% on the week, down 3% on the 24-hour. And you take a look, AI is really down across the board, right? With the exception of Virtual Protocol. And so when you talk about front running or getting in front of a massive rally, you don't do it when the thing is up 80%. You do it when it's seeing a retracement. And right now, in the entirety of the AI sector, we're seeing a retracement across almost every single time frame. So now would be the time, if you believe AI is going to be a big play for you in the next 2 to 6 weeks, now would be a great time to get a position on yourself, and they got to figure out which ones do you want. Do you want to take the multi-prong approach where you pick 5 and do equal amounts in L5 and, hey, pick a winner out of who performs the best, or, you know, swing trade, whatever you like to do? Or are you going to put your head down, do a lot of intensive research, and pick 1 or 2 that you're going to put all your eggs into that basket? One is not better than the other. It just depends on what your ultimate goal is for investing and how and what your goal is for cashing out and making money. For me, I go the multi-prong approach, right? I am not smart enough. I don't have the resources enough to be able to get the kind of information to confidently pick winners. I don't have Mark Andreessen's phone number in my phone where I can reach out to him and say, hey, what's going on? Or these VC companies. We're not there yet. Can we get there one day? I believe we will. And at that point, sure, maybe I'll change my philosophy. But at this point, for me personally, I pick 5 to 6. I do my research. I'm like, all right, I like what this one's doing. I like what this one's doing. Spread it out evenly, and you'll find your winners there. What's your thoughts on AI, the sector as a whole being down? What's the number here? I thought I saw an overall number for... Anyways, the whole sector's down.
For me, AI, I look at it in the same way as I do gaming. They tend to be very... they have very small time windows, right? Gaming will explode, so will AI. And we saw it last bull market with Metaverse. Metaverse really took off for a certain period of time and then just cooled off for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I don't remember what the time frame was. We had the likes of Sandbox and Decentraland do very, very well last bull market. And then we had a cooling off for quite some time. And then Meta changed their name, or Facebook changed their name to Meta. And then it took off again. And in the early stages of this bull market, we saw that exact same scenario pop off, right? We saw AI tokens perform extremely well, outperform the market. It was kind of the first sector or the first thing to pump in this bear market or coming out of the bear market, right? We were looking at our tokens. We were looking at our projects. And Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 40. And then from there, it really just consolidated, traded sideways for quite some time. Nothing really stood out other than Solana and then AI coins, right? And then we started seeing memes pop off a little bit. And so we've seen it cool down. So I think it's going to, the same thing that happened last bull market where things took turns, really getting these giant green candles. I think the same is going to happen for AI. And you know what? It's been a while since AI has really taken off. So I think it's probably right around the corner. I think it's in due time. I think, as you mentioned, it's probably one big narrative away, maybe one NVIDIA record-breaking numbers or projections, or maybe NVIDIA stock maybe goes up by a factor of 30% or something like that, or maybe a 2X's or something over like a
here's
1 year
the thing.
window.
You mentioned NVIDIA, but I think that's just one example. You have so many large companies that are working towards AI.
Yeah.
Any one of them comes out with an announcement, it's going to be covered globally. And again, it's going to kick in that FOMO and people wanting to get exposure to it. I can't say the same about gaming. Can't really say the same about, I don't know, DeFi, really, right? RWA, you can. You got BlackRock, you got Fidelity, you got the large banks.
We haven't seen it on gaming, though. I think it will happen in gaming. And so for me, I think gaming is going to be a really large sector that gets very volatile, in the same way that we saw AI get volatile this early part of the cycle. And then gaming is as well. Now, the thing to say about gaming was last bull market cycle, there was no crypto games. So all you had was Axie Infinity, and even that was pretty lackluster.
Hey, we had Decentraland.
And that wasn't a game. That's metaverse.
I know.
And even then, that thing was trash.
It's a joke.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll look at Decentraland again. Maybe they've revamped.
They got a pretty high ranking on the Almanac.
Yeah, they did.
Actually, I think they changed it.
Yeah, I think he had a B ranking.
I think the editor was strong armed in changing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of the Almanac, if you haven't bought it, go buy one. I gave 2 Almanacs away to Rob's community from Digital Asset News yesterday. We'll be reaching out to you guys to get some information to ship you your Almanac. If you haven't bought one, buy one. The link is in the description. You want to learn everything about crypto. So we talked about AI. Let's talk a little bit about RWAs. Now, the leader here, as far as price action, has been Ondo. Actually, if you look on the week, no, it's been Ondo. Just changed. So Ondo is approaching $2. Now, this is a project. I know a lot of our community members, I know Billy specifically has been very vocal about Ondo. We've been pretty vocal about Ondo. This has direct ties to BlackRock. It's not a utility token, essentially a governance token, but doesn't mean people don't speculate on it, right? It's like Arbitrum is a governance token, and hey, people speculate on the price goes up. But look how it sits at number 1. You got Avalanche. Number 2, Chainlink. Number 3, do not sleep on VeChain either, man. Do not sleep on VeChain. This thing is down 3.5% on the day, 10% on the week. It's up 2x on the 1 month. But you got so many excellent projects. If you want a little bit of, I don't want to call it a long shot, but maybe a little on the riskier side, Mantra is a layer 1 specifically for RWAs. Another one that not a lot of people talk about that's actually highlighted in the Almanac is XDC Network. Don't sleep on this one either. There's a bunch of really good RWA plays, and the markets have cooled off. And I'll say it again for the 500th time because it's so important. You buy when the markets cool off. You don't enter when the markets are hot. You sit, you enjoy your gains, or you take profit when the markets are hot. You sell into fear, you buy into fear, you sell into greed. That's the point. And you take a look at Chainlink. That thing is up 13.4%. Wait till it cools off. There's no need to ape in right now. Unless, of course, you're like, look, I think this thing going $1,000. I plan on holding for 10 years. I don't really care if it's $28 or if it's $22. Sure, great. But a lot of people, they hold their bag cycle to cycle, which is completely fine. And so you want to buy the dips. VeChain, great time to buy. Down 10% on the week at 6 cents. Excellent time to buy VeChain. Ondo, probably not. But again,
you ever look at DYDX?
Yeah, that's the.
So it's sitting at number 90 on the market cap list. You know, it's under where it was at launch.
Under where?
So it came out listed. Market makers put it around $3, sitting around $2. Still in the top 100. And for this, I just think I'm like, so this is its all-time chart, right? Or 1 year chart. So derivatives trading with, you know, where you have asset tokenizations, particularly in Wall Street. And so you can trade stocks on the
margin trading and
margin trading, leverage trading, but all done on chain. Also, a lot of this leverage and margin trading is also done with crypto as well. And so, you know, you're connecting, instead of connecting to an exchange to do your leverage trading, you're doing it all on chain and in a DeFi sort of way. So I know that DeFi right now is, you know, what we expect DeFi to be is, hey, let me swap and stake and let me get yield all on chain. You know, there's lots of different facets to DeFi, but I think one facet that gets easily overlooked is people's degeneracy, which is leverage trading and leveraging the market. And why not do this also on chain? I know they're not the first to do this. There's plenty of products out here to do it, but they're the first one to break into the top 100.
You mentioned degenerate and leverage trading. When Magic was talking about Chainlink being at a support, I put in I think like a 69x leverage long position is a joke. And he's like, yeah, man, that's it's kind of low. So I'm like, all right, fine. I bumped it up to 101x leverage. I made like 2,400% in like an hour. I cashed it out. Yeah.
You cashed it out?
Not recommended. Yeah. So
Was that with the business account or your personal?
Personal account. Yeah. I don't take that kind of risk with the business. No, I'll let you take all the risk. Not recommended, guys. I'm not saying go out in 101x trade, but if you are a leverage trader, we actually we partner with Buy DeFi, and so their platform is great in the U.S. regulated. You don't need a VPN. They got a ton of different coins you can trade. There's a link in the description. Sign up, you'll get a 15% bonus. And so their mobile app is really good too. Love the interface, and I kind of love the ease of it too.
And then if you guys are trying to, because leverage trading can be kind of intimidating, and so what I would recommend is if you're interested in it. If you're not interested in it, you're just spot buying, you're just kind of setting aside for a long-term portfolio, don't mess with it. But if you're interested in leverage trading, want to put aside maybe $1,000 or something like that to kind of play with the markets, see if you can get ahead of the trend, right? You think that the markets are going to go long, or that all of a sudden Bitcoin's going to break out, put in a position, see if it works. But what I would say is use play money with that, right? You don't have to go in and use real money. You can kind of get your feet wet and just kind of learn how it works and do some practice trades. So I would highly recommend that. But someone who was Avery said, when you say market makers put it at $3, what does that mean? When a new project gets listed on exchanges, they don't create the tokens right then and there. And so you have the company valuation, and then you have token holders that are most of the early investors have their tokens locked up for a certain period of time. And anyways, the exchanges will set a price that they think is accurate for what it should be listed as. And they use the valuation and plus how many tokens they have, things like that nature. Sometimes they get it wrong though. Sometimes they say, hey, we're gonna evaluate this at $3, and then the price tanks, and realistically it probably should have been set at $1. And so whales love to play around with market makers, and
they do the same thing with IPOs.
Yeah. It's a inaccurate science. They usually, I would say 80-90% of the time, they usually get it pretty close to where the valuation is, but sometimes you're just way off. ICP was a really good example. There's a lot of fraud behind that, but when ICP first got listed on all major exchanges, it was valued at over $200.
$700. Was it $700?
Yeah, it was over $700 per.
That was a terrible.
Yeah, and the thing was like we all knew, because we saw all of a sudden the project was a top 20 project out the gates, or like a top 10 project out the gates, or something like that. Yeah. And we're like, yo, how did it get this valuation? And then in hindsight, the Alameda Research, who was holding a lot of the ICP tokens per liquidity for the markets, set it really high, dumped tokens, and then price rebounded down to.
What you're supposed to do, or what they do in Wall Street, is let's say they'll pick a company like Goldman Sachs or whoever to take it to market. And these researchers, these underwriters will get on the phones and they'll say, hey, this new project, Amazon's going public. I got X amount of shares. And they'll gauge interest and they'll find a price, and then they'll launch it at that price. Sometimes these market makers in crypto, they just go gung-ho. Like, yeah, $800, $200, $50. You're like, what? And then they end up wrecking retail, but they make a lot of money because they get it for cheap, right? They mint the tokens, and in some cases, they buy them for cheap and they sell it and they dump on retail. That's how people get screwed.
Well, I know Jimmy says, that wall is a one-trick pony. Haven't seen it do anything other than be a screensaver.
Wow. Thanks, Jimmy.
Can we throw something on the wall? Have y'all figured out how that works yet? Let's get there it is.
Damn, Jimmy, that's messed up.
See, it changes. Why don't we put the producers on there?
Jimmy throwing shade.
Yeah, throw a producer on there. You know, the webcam. Ashley's like, I got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
It's coming, guys. It's coming.
There it is.
Why you look terrified, Ashley? You okay? She's not okay. She looks.
What's going on back there? Y'all having fun back there or what? Y'all know y'all got microphones back here.
So much fun back here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're so convincing, Ashley. That's pretty cool. I do want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by CAMS Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how CAMS can help your business scale and grow, visit bluewiretech.com. They are experts in networking, IT, and cybersecurity. And if you've been watching our show with any regularity, you know they've been a huge part of our success from a technical standpoint. And so big shout out to them. Visit bluewiretech.com. Real quick before we move off of AI and RWA, give me your 2 favorite AI plays and give me your 2 favorite RWA plays at current prices.
My favorite AI plays, I can't dismiss ASI, man. Honestly, just because of the team behind it, AI has absolutely, it's been front run by Fetch. Fetch.ai was the leader, right? And they have combined with Ocean Protocol and also SingularityNet, which were also 2 of the other biggest names. So you have this 3-headed monster, right? And so all 3 teams are now working to build. And you know what? Where's the ASI token price? Well, how far down on the market list is it now?
Number 36.
Yeah, man, this thing, I think it's going to bring it in the top 20. And so if the entire market cap of crypto goes up, which we're expecting it to do so, when we see that, say $150,000 Bitcoin, everything's going to expand in price as far as the top 20 projects. And I think that artificial superintelligence, or ASI, really breaks into it. I mean, look at the 1 year here. Just massively underperforming the other top altcoins. We've seen that during the March kind of highs that we had for altcoin season, or we saw the likes of Cardano hit 70 cents. We saw name a layer 1, and in the top 100, they all did very, very well in March of this year. And so now we're looking at many projects eclipsing those numbers. One that has not even come close to eclipsing its March highs is ASI. And so at $3.20 back in March, I think that this easily gets to that point, which would put it, a 2x away from where it is now. And what is it going to take for the AI narrative to kind of kick off? I'm not sure. I don't know. We talked about that earlier, but I just look at the 1 year chart just says so much to me on that one. Now, as far as another AI play, I'm just gonna have to go with Render. Where is Render?
33.
Yeah. So it's now, this is kind of the opposite, right? Back in March, it got to about $10. Now it's right around the same price as before, a little less, but this is one that's obviously getting a little bit more attention, a little bit more community. So I think, like, if I were to diversify between 2 projects, I think a 50-50 split between ASI, which I think is undervalued, and then also you have Render, which seems to be catching momentum and is outperforming.
Remember, Render's founder has ties to Apple.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think that's good. And then also, Render is at number 34 in the market cap list. So, I mean, very, very comparable projects as far as market cap. So those would be my 2 on AI. And then real world, obviously, got to go with Ondo on this one. I have been talking about Ondo ad nauseum. I think that Ondo is a top 20 project, and I feel very, very comfortable saying that. Very comfortable. And so how far down the list is on? There it is, number 56. And so for it to sneak into the top 20, I would assume it would probably be a 10x from where it is now. And so the $2, I would say about $20 Ondo. And I think that is in a short time window. I don't think that is the top of the market for it to get to in the top 20. And so I think that this thing 10x's within the next 6 months.
Okay.
I don't have a second RWA play, Bill.
So there's a lot of good AI plays, but the ones I'm really eyeing now, there's 3. So I'm eyeing ICP. I think Caffeine AI is going to be huge. We talked with Kyle on the show, and he didn't give us a lot of info, but the one thing he said was, look, Dom, right, the chief scientist over at Dfinity, gave a what is it called? Gave kind of a, what word am I looking for here?
Speech?
No. Where he showcased it. What's the fucking word? Anyways, he showcased Caffeine AI to a bunch of AI experts and, some of the large companies. And what Kyle said was, quote, their jaws dropped, right? So ICP, full stack, right? Tech, front end, back end, everything. So ICP is one of them. The second one is virtual protocol. I am telling you guys, this thing is ran I wouldn't go buy it now, but this thing gets another pullback to that $2 level. That's something I would want. And then the other one, which I saw in the comment section, which is a little farther down the list, is Aether, right? This is essentially a GPU compute play for institutions. And so this thing is down on the day, down on the 7-day, and it's up 34% on the week. Pretty low on the, or further down on the market cap list, sitting at 421 million. So those three are great ones, but you can honestly go down the list and you can look at Near Protocol. That's a great play. You can look at Akash. That's an excellent play. Theta, ICP, we already talked about it. Injective, the Graph. I would throw RWeave in here. I don't see it in here, but I'd throw RWeave in there. And if you wanted to, if you want some extra upside potential, but with more risk, you can look at something like Turbo, right? The first AI meme coin launch that got a listing on Coinbase. As far as RWA, I think Chainlink, you talk about RWA, Chainlink is daddy, right? I'm not going to say Ondo because he already said it, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on VeChain, man. VeChain's been around for a while. They have a niche of what they look to do, which is supply chain management. They got a great team. They've been around, again, for a very long time. Their dual token system is great. And so VeChain is one, again, that's down on the 7-day and the 1-day. And this is something that if you want some exposure to RWA, you should definitely know.
I will say this about AI, well, just to wrap up the AI kind of conversation, is that what we have yet to see is a AI project, AI crypto-based project that has use case and utility outside of the crypto ecosystem. And so the same way that perhaps a college student or, an intern or someone, an assistant using some of the AI tools in their jobs or in their studies, nobody's using a blockchain one yet. And so if we find ourselves in a scenario where the person in college taking their exam pulls up a AI service that is by ASI, by Render, by ICP, or by THETA, whoever it is, and they start using that, and that ends up becoming one of the go-to stops for people's browser, right? For AI services, I think that's it, man. That in itself, and it's the same thing with like video games, right? We always talk about it like, hey, once the normies get out here and they start playing video games and they don't realize they're playing a blockchain game and they're using it, the same is going to happen with AI. I'm telling you, somebody's going to be over here using ICP, not even knowing that it's crypto. They're just be like, hey man, there's this thing called ICP. It's a new AI service. And you know what? It's way better than ChatGPT and these other things that I've been using. So it just makes a lot of sense. That's a good product. Little do they know they're even using a blockchain one. Right. And I think once that happens, then whatever project that is, whoever that winner of that market will be one where it is a top 10 crypto. I think that's the crown jewel, right? The go-to AI service. I mean, how many people use ChatGPT?
A lot.
What about y'all over there in the production room?
I do. I use ChatGPT.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley?
Hold on. What was the last question you asked ChatGPT, Chase?
I was helping it write something for my business.
Okay.
I just be cheating on my homework, so I don't know.
I thought you'd for sure say, what's the best deals on Capri Suns right now?
That's one of my searches, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Oasis is another good one, K3 said. Another sector that people like CZ have talked about that is really kind of, not a lot of people understand, but I think is going to be big, and it kind of mashes in with RWA is decentralized science, right? DeSci. And
why is this the first time I've heard about this?
Decentralized science? You've definitely scrolled through Twitter and seen it, bro.
Have I?
Yeah, Vitalik's talked about it, CZ's talked about it. It's just not a mainstream headline, which is great. Because that is when typically
no, man, I don't trust Scientology, man. That's a creepy one.
It's not Scientology.
And if you follow Scientology,
it's not Scientology.
Cool to you guys, but Scientology on the blockchain.
About religion. We're
man. I ain't.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, listen to me. Don't listen to him.
And then I'm telling you, man, you gotta be careful with Scientology.
Anyways, there's actually
Tom Cruise. Stranger. He's a strange guy.
Yeah.
There's a Scientologist.
Okay. There's a project that we've actually partnered with. We're excited. We're going to bring the founder on. So this guy's name is Nick. He made his living buying and selling data and information. And so he was been into crypto, and I talked to him on the phone. And what he created was a wearable. You know the Fitbits that track your like steps and everything?
Yeah.
This is one that tracks your calorie intake, your sleep, your steps, your diet, your everything. And what it allows you to do is to, if you want to, sell some of your health data to these large companies who run studies. So instead of them just grabbing it from other places that you don't know about and them making all the money, you can get offers and someone could say, hey, we want to pay you $100 for 3 months of your diet data, or how much meat you consume in a 3-month period, and we'll pay you X amount of money. And they do it with their Pulse wearable. And so I just wanted to share this with you. And they actually partner with Pump.Science. Very, very interesting stuff here. And again, we'll have more info as we bring Nick on the show. But this is a project we're super excited to partner with. And I don't want to give anything up, but we'll probably be doing some cool stuff with these guys for the community. So this is something interesting that kind of lands in between the decentralized science and the RWA, right? Real world asset, your health, your data is an asset, right? That could be tokenized and used by other people. If they're using it anyways, at least people can make money doing it. So pretty interesting there. Again,
I'm very interested to see your diet data, because I see what you like to snack on.
Yeah?
And
you mean everything I snack on that you just grab from out of my hand?
well, I mean, I gotta,
Yeah, so don't sit there and talk
verify,
shit.
but you survive off of those snacks.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
I'm just saying, man, you gotta watch your health long term, baby.
thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very kind of you to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's talk about
Shout out to Hot Pockets and also Italian frozen Swedish meatballs.
Hot Pocket in years. What are you talking? Last Hot Pocket I ate was in college. The ham and cheese one.
Now the Hot Pockets have evolved.
Oh, I wouldn't know. You would know.
Beef Wellington. It's like it's like the gourmet version of a Hot Pocket, right? It's a filet mignon inside of a Hot Pocket. Stupid. Shout out to Gordon Ramsay. My dude.
I love that guy. All right.
Who doesn't like Gordon? Have you ever heard somebody doesn't like Gordon?
I've met him. We met him a few. You work with him.
Yeah.
I worked for him.
I honestly have not. I have yet to ever hear one person say, like, man, that guy irritates me. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he's a pretender. Like, I haven't heard any of that crap.
People always ask, and I don't know if they ask you, but like I said, you work directly with him as a chef. I've worked for one of his restaurants, right? And so people always ask me, because I've met him, like, well, how is he? And I tell him one story. And the story I tell him is, he came to the restaurant I was working at one time, and he took pictures with the guests, and then he went to the back, and he was hanging out by the employee area. So my wife and son are big fans of the show, of Hell's Kitchen and Gordon Ramsay. So as he's standing 5 feet from me, I decided to pick up my phone and FaceTime my wife. She was at a football game. And she answers the phone, and I say, look who's in front of me. As I say that, Gordon turns over and says, who's that on the phone? I said, it's my wife and son. Walks over, grabs the phone out of my hand, and just starts having a conversation with my kid and my wife on FaceTime. That is the kind of person he is. He's I fucking love that guy, man. He's awesome. All right.
You want to go back in the past? Here, take a look. Got your boy right here. This is when I had my little different hairdo here. But yeah.
What the hell were you
back in my chef days? Look at that hairdo I got.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting.
Did you ever consider going back?
Back to Gordon Ramsay?
No, back to the hair.
I like that goatee you got, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. Now he looks like a baby's bosom.
Oh, what is that? Is that a
What kind
Rolex?
of watch is that, bro?
That's a Rolex. That's a Rolex right there, bro.
Pakisad said, did he drop the F-bomb? No, but my mother-in-law, thinking she's funny, peeks her head and says, Gordon, you need Botox. Seriously, dude. I was like, what are you doing? I told my wife, I was like, what is wrong with your mom? Anyways, let's talk about this, Rob. This was pretty interesting. Van Eck came out with their top 10 crypto predictions for 2025. Did you see this?
I have not.
Now you will see this.
Oh,
Robin, see this. So, prediction number 1, and look, I want to go through these 10, but we don't have to spend a lot of time on each of them, right? Just give your quick thoughts. If one's worth talking about longer, we will. Prediction 1, the crypto bull market hits a medium-term peak in Q1, sets new highs in Q4. We project Bitcoin to be valued at around $180,000, Ethereum to trade above $6,000, Solana to exceed $500, and Sui to get to $10. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree we get a peak in Q1, but all-time highs in Q4?
I just don't see a scenario where Bitcoin gets to 180,000 and ETH is simply at 6. I know they say above, right?
That was kind of my first thoughts.
Yeah. So, and the thing is the very interesting choice of words. So they valued around 180. So they're not calling for like a realistic low and then saying it could be higher. They're saying it'll be around 180,000.
Could be lower, could be higher.
Yeah, but that's general. But then they're just like, it'll trade above 6,000. Like,
yeah,
I think realistically, I would expect
if BTC's at 180, where's ETH at?
10K. I would say if I were to write this, I'd say trade above 10,000. I think that's the correct verbiage there.
I think that sounds
because maybe it's 11.5, maybe it's 18,000, but I think realistically, for me, $180,000 Bitcoin, I would be so shocked if ETH is not over $10,000. Really would be shocked. And then the same can be said for Solana.
Yeah, what's your
although I'll say with Solana, the interesting part with that one is that it already ran pretty hot. I don't know how long this thing's going to cool off. 2x probably sounds realistic. I think the Solana one's a little bit more accurate. I do think that Solana probably hangs around $700-800. And so that's where I think Solana's kind of upper bounds are. I don't think it gets over $1,000. You think Solana gets over 1,000?
I think it can.
I think it can. It would not surprise me in the slightest.
Probability,
but
35%.
I'm definitely more. I would lean more if I had to put in a bet, right? If I had to put in a poly market bet as an example, November 2025 over or under $1,000 for Solana, I'd take the under.
I think I would take the under too.
I want to know, what do you think in the chat? Come here, give me the camera. Come here.
You have the
camera. I have it. Yes. How you doing? Hi, you holding the phone. Hello, how are you doing? Will you participate in this chat poll that we're about to do? Not an actual poll, just put a number in. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that November 2025 Solana will be over $1,000. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Solana will be under $1,000 November 2025. We're expecting November 2025 to be the top of the market. And so I'm curious to see what you guys think or where you think Solana will be at price-wise. Participate, every single one of you, all 300 plus of you. Thanks.
Prediction 2, I think I know where we're going with this. U.S. will embrace Bitcoin strategic reserve, increase crypto adoption. Now, the interesting one here is ETH ETPs, exchange-traded products, will include staking, while both ETH and Bitcoin ETPs will allow in-kind transactions and redemptions. I agree with this. I think I agree with everything this one. I think this is, wouldn't even call this a prediction. You don't think so?
Nope.
Nope on what?
I don't think this happens.
What happens? Bitcoin?
None of those. Oh, the strategic reserve, yes.
Okay.
But
you don't think multiple new spot crypto ETFs?
No, yeah, that. I was talking about the staking.
You don't think that'll happen?
No, I don't think staking and in-kind redemptions happen. No.
Why is that?
Because Wall Street wants to keep their product in Wall Street. And if you start buying and removing, then Wall Street ends up being an exchange and basically an on-ramp and off-ramp. And I think that Wall Street and the smart money and whales and institutions, the people behind BlackRock, they don't want people to buy and remove and self-custody their own Bitcoin, because then BlackRock is losing out on fees. Every ETF provider is losing out on fees. And so it's out of BlackRock's interest to do so. Also, I just think staking is not quite ready yet. And so, I mean, do you understand? Do you understand my thesis behind the ETFs? It's just the only winner is retail, and I just don't think that Wall Street will give that up.
That's an interesting. That's an interesting angle. That's very interesting.
It's not interesting. It's
no, it's an interesting.
You think BlackRock's gonna like say, hey, you know
they
what?
Want it in kind.
We don't want these fees.
You understand, Robin, when they file their applications, they want it in kind.
Yeah, but now it's like one of those things like where you take a job, right? And you were looking for a position. Let's just say you were taking a job as an apprentice for some company as an electrician. They're like, well, we don't have that position, but we do need a salesperson that can go out and, you're very knowledgeable on on electrical needs. Why don't you go out and hit the roads as a salesman? And all of a sudden your salary's like 4 times what it would have been as an apprentice. And you're like, well, you know what? That wasn't what I was going for, but I'm making a lot more money doing this. So you know what? I'm just going to stick in sales. Like, you know what? This is way better than being on top of the roof. And I think that BlackRock is a very similar situation where BlackRock,
That's a
where
good- that's a
perhaps they were
good-
like, you know what? We believe in Bitcoin. Let's let people self-custody. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, that didn't work. They didn't go for that one. Well, crap, look how much money we're making on fees. We're custodying it for people. This is actually a way better business model than we had originally drawn up.
That's a good analogy. I'll give you that. I don't know. I think staking is definitely going to happen. What you said is interesting to me. But yeah, I just look at it from they want it in kind. But yeah, I mean, that was a good analogy. Might have sold me on that one. Prediction number 3, value of tokenized securities exceeds $50 billion. Tokenized securities grew 61% in 2024, but most of that value is on permission chains. We think 2025 will be a breakthrough year for tokenized securities to launch on open source blockchains as entities like the DTCC explore bridging public and private blockchains. All I can think about in the back of my mind when I'm reading this is Chainlink. I agree. I think this number is actually a little not reported, but
I'm right on par with you, bro. I think it's under.
I mean, BlackRock, for God's sake, is building a stock exchange in Texas that's 24/7 running on blockchain.
You think they're gonna launch that thing?
I mean, I haven't read anything to the contrary.
It's been a while since I heard about that, though.
Yeah, but things take time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's not in crypto where it's like,
You know,
we need an update every day of every minute from the founder, or else the project is a scam.
then also a lot of twos. Just a lot of people.
it's not
A
gonna
lot
hit?
of people think. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had Theanis.
How do you not know?
Theanis, also John Mops, Crypto 88, and Rodriguez, Vindaloo. Oh man, I butchered that one. Anyways, and then
Rob the Butcher.
Lasag. Okay, I'm gonna stop pronouncing.
Please stop.
Jeremy
For the
and
love of
Pekka, they all said 1, but outside of that, everyone else was a 2. Man, a lot of people are shorting Solana's position. Don't sleep on Solana, man.
Probably means it's going to go to
Don't
1,000.
sleep on Solana. It did very well last bull market. It's funny because I came out saying it's not going to be over 1,000, but I'll just say this: I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if I had to put a position in. Like I said, I'd probably bet on under 1,000, but I would not be surprised to be like, damn, Solana's at $2,700. Who would have thought?
All right. Prediction number 4. Stable coins are poised to revolutionize payments, with daily settlement volumes projected to reach $300 billion by the end of 2025. I agree. I think this is we're talking about legislation. This is the one that's going to go first. Is stablecoin legislation. It benefits the country. It benefits
If
really
we
everyone.
get stablecoin regulation, as crazy as it sounds, I think the number 2 spot on the market cap list ends up being a stablecoin.
I mean, that makes sense.
I think that you pull up CoinMarketCap and you click on.
Oh,
this
Tether's
thing.
almost there,
Yeah,
right? Tether's number.
I mean, it's 4x away.
Is it number 3. Tether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 3x away, 3.5x away. So you see here, you got Tether, $140 billion market cap. ETH sitting at $472 billion. So not far away. And positive stablecoin regulation. Because then all of a sudden, I do think that banks will just simply start using stablecoins instead of like a Zelle, for example. Because it makes a lot of sense, or at least it'll be another option, right? You know how you're like, hey, you can cash app me.
Stable me.
Yeah, exactly. Tether me, bro.
Tether me. Tether.
Hit me with that tether. If you would like, donate some tether to Sin City Crypto.
Tether me. All right. Prediction 5. I like this one. 1 million new AI agents will emerge. Think of AI agents as digital workers. These agents generated significant revenues in the last month of 2024, and their on-chain activity is projected to skyrocket, which is why I have said, and I'll say it again, virtual protocol, fetch AI agents, that is what they do. Please.
Van Eck believes in AI agents, huh?
Yeah, man, they follow the trend, bro. 1 million will emerge. I don't know about that number. I'm not going to speculate on the number, but I agree it's going to be a big. It's going to be a big.
I don't know, man. I don't. AI agents are cool. I like.
You literally said you were going to buy an Optimus robot.
Yeah, but the thing is, I just don't think that AI agents serve enough benefit for them to capture a giant market cap right yet. And I think that the technology behind what you're expected an AI agent to do basically it's like Chat GPT but personalized, right? That's kind of what it's your AI favorite software. I don't know if you guys use the AI. I don't know. I use it all the damn time. I think everyone in the studio uses it, but I guess if it'd be like the Siri version, right? Where it already knows your history, it knows who you are, and you apply that to finance. I just don't think it's there yet. I think it's a couple years away. And so for that reason, I'm not quite as bullish on AI agents as other people are.
No, I'm bullish enough for both.
I think okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't. I don't see the tech. I don't see the tech there. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect an AI agent to do?
I expect an AI agent.
I'm genuinely curious.
Well, okay. So you got a bunch of different things happening, right? You take a look at something like a virtual protocol, right? You take a look at something like Fetch AI. Fetch AI, it's got an AI agent. You can say, hey, I want to take a trip to Hawaii with my family. This is what we want to do. Will you curate a plan? And then they're like, okay, well, you can do this, this, and this on the first day. And if you stay here, then this is a.
But you think that's what people are ready for that? They're going to use it?
But Rob, okay.
That's my point is I still think it's a couple years away.
How busy is your life right now? Fairly busy, correct?
Yeah, and I use AI often. I haven't offloaded it to an AI agent to do it from top to bottom. And maybe I'm missing out.
And why is that? Why is that? Do you think it's because the tech's not there, or maybe you haven't looked for
I think the tech hasn't been in my face yet.
Okay. It's there though. It's just not in your face. Now I'm not saying it's fully built out and it's perfect and oh my God, no.
I had an application I did, and I don't want to dox myself, so I'll leave it very broad. But there's an application that would probably have taken a lawyer or a financial institution to properly fill out correctly. That involves finances. It's not any kind of bankruptcy or anything like that. But anyways, just something I'm trying to leverage AI, basically instead of hiring a company. And it did pretty well with ChatGPT. I just screenshotted a lot of the applications and I was like, hey, this is question from box 1, box 2. And it gave me pretty damn good answers. So, I mean, I guess an AI agent would probably do a better job of that instead of me doing all the legwork and screenshotting. And then, I don't know. I'm just skeptical, man. I'm skeptical, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because I haven't yet dabbled with AI agents, and maybe I'm on the outside looking in.
You should look into it, man. It's a lot of good stuff, and there's a lot of good projects that are doing it, and so you want exposure to those.
What about the production team back there? Would you use an AI agent? AI agent, basically an assistant that is not just you ask questions, but you more or less have a goal or an outline. What do you think?
I would.
You would?
I would. Yeah. I feel like it can solve so many problems, like in your business or like writing out things or just having an assistant to do like the media, like the small work that you don't really have time for or don't want to make
the tedious
time for.
Stuff, man.
Yeah, the tedious stuff. Yeah. For sure.
What about you, Ashley? Would you use an AI agent?
I honestly don't understand the question. So,
instead of typing in your questions to ChatGPT, you basically say, hey, will you do this class for me? And then you just enroll it and it does it for you, right? Instead of you typing in each question, you just say, hey, here's the curriculum. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a quiz. Have at it.
that'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's so we got through 5 predictions. We're running out of time, so we'll do the other 5 on Monday, okay? Because they're not time sensitive, right? They're for 2025. The one thing I do want to talk about, and I just want to make this really quick, is NFTs, right? Look at the trading volume on NFTs. So this is from Dune Analytics. You see the trading volume has skyrocketed since November.
What are the popular NFTs right now? I'm kind of out of the loop.
Pudgy Penguins is huge. Pudgy Penguins, you have obviously the Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's a few ones. A lot of them are in the graveyard.
Is there any new arrivals that are just super hot?
I am not into the NFT market like some people are. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert in NFTs. I'm not. And so, I really don't know. Yeah. You finding anything over there?
Stats. Yeah. Pudgy Penguins is at the top of the list.
I know Pudgy Penguins has got some.
Dude, man, this thing's up 200%. The only problem is with NFTs, they just lack that liquidity, right? A lot of times you're kind of stuck with it for a while. Would you buy a Pudgy Penguin?
No.
26 ETH, man.
Yeah.
I remember watching an interview at Ron Paul, and he was being interviewed by somebody that was so bullish on Pudgy Penguins, and I was just like, bro, what are you doing? Now this thing's like 10x from that point.
Better listen to him.
I know.
Speaking of NFTs, before we end the show, I do want to give a big shout out to Billy and Billy Goat Tales. They're actually doing their NFT mint on Sunday. And so if you're not familiar, the Billy Goat Tales, the book, the children's book, they're actually turning that into essentially an NFT. And so join their Discord. Actually, if you're in our Discord or in their Discord, they got all the information on the mint, what time. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. If you were a speaker on one of their X spaces, I think you get a mint there as well. And so it's a crowdsourced. I think they got like 170 speakers that were talking about things such as like habits, honor, character, taking action. And so again, that's December 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And so you're going to need a Cardano wallet. I think it's 25.8 at a mint. And then you got to just go to the website, connect your wallet. And so we always love supporting our community members and especially friends. Billy's a good friend of mine. And so Billy, congrats, my friend. We look forward to minting ours as we were speakers on your X Spaces. And so, yeah, if you want more info, jump into our Discord or jump into the Billy Goat Tales Discord. They'll have all the information in there and on Twitter.
Also, big shout out to all of the new people here. If you have not subscribed, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel. Also, some of the new faces I've seen, Jason F., BGTT, Luis, Sugar, Daryl.
That's right, Sugar.
Charles Lee. Also, we got Bass C, Mambo, Bruno, YY, N4W, Michael Mattern, The Smith, Alex Counts, The How To, K3VZ, also Crypto88, HD Crypto, Low Key, Peter D, Jonathan D, VV Crypto, Burr, Bakerman, Mark Z, and Hodl Rank. To all of you, hola! Welcome.
I'm going to, before I leave, I'm going to put the link to the X post for all the info for that mint, in case people want it. That'll do it for the show today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend. We got some videos coming to you today and over the weekend. So today, what you're going to get? You're going to get a Caspa video. Good news, bad news. Caspa, you're going to want to watch the video to find out. Also, which a lot of talk about AI, did a video on my top 3 AI plays for the short term. And also tomorrow, you're going to get a Cardano video. And then you might get some over the weekend. So I always want to make sure you have your notification bell pinged. That's all I got. Who's pressing the button over there, Ashley or Chase? Chase? All right. Chase? Yeah, we got rugged yesterday, Ashley. You see what happened yesterday? Yeah, that's how it's done. Thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in, guys. We appreciate all of you. Have an amazing weekend. We will see you guys right here on Monday. Until then,
everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control